Good morning, everybody. Just got in. It's pouring down rain. I got lucky. I had five yards in a row, and I had, they were thick. So I do sometimes. I blew the grass into the street to let it dry, and then I finish out by coming back and feathering it back onto the lawn after it's dried in the hot street. But so I had grass down on the street on 5 yards together, and edging dirt on their driveways, and I still had weed eating to do on all of them and blowing off, and that's the concern. It was coming up with rain, and I needed to blow it off because I don't like to, it gets 10 times harder to blow off once it's wetted in. And some people will want it pressure washed because you're putting organics, carbohydrates on there that the algae and the mold can eat. Or wait, it'd be algae because mold don't live in the sun. So the algae can eat, and then that turns the driveway dark real quickly. So, but I got lucky, and this time I got them blowed off in time. But that last set of 5 I had to go do with the old 60-inch hustler, and it feels kind of like trying to empty the ocean with a thimble after running the 72s. So, and then also it causes more weed eating, because the problem with the 60 is that the deck doesn't stick out past the wheels hardly, and then so you can't get in tight to stuff. Whereas the 72, I think the deck sticks out about a foot. Let me flip this around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And then what you can do is then you can use that side to get in under trees and up close to stuff. Let me flip it around, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so on the 60, see, it barely sticks out beyond the tires. And whereas on the 72, it sticks out a lot further. It doesn't maybe look like it in the video, but it does stick out a lot farther. And it makes a huge difference on weed eating. I mean, it's like getting a string guide for free when you got that, because it barely leaves anything. And then as far as getting it in between places, I don't have that much problem with that. You can walk that deck in through. And I try to steer away from lawns where people do stuff that makes it so you can't get a mower through to an area, because that's a certain mindset that's going to carry forward all the time, and that they don't care or have a care, and they'll add stuff down the line. So even if you adapt to what they've got going on now, then they're no doubt going to do it again. So you got crazy stuff going on with the gimbal here. Oh, there we go. I got it figured out. But anyway, that was one thing I wanted to point out, is that I just like running the 72s a lot better. But this is my original mower, right? So I had to rebuild it and put a new motor on it and get it going. I'm really not too keen on running it the way it sits, though, because this muffler doesn't have the 2 heat baffles on the backside, and it's pushing a lot of heat towards the fuel pump and the housing. Whereas most of the mufflers I run have these two, this heat shield. See this extra piece of metal? And I'd like to go get a new one, but the last time I checked around, they were like $400, and that's just ridiculous. I might be able to use this one over here, but that's a gimmicky heat shield. That's a joke. That ain't gonna do nothing. But I got several parts machines up there So before I go dropping $400 on a stinking muffler, I'm going to go through them all and see what I can come up with, or possibly do my own heat shield, build one on it. So with the rain, I'm glad to have the rain, but I guess now I'll have to wait that out and go finish up. I was lucky I got 6 yards done before I came and changed out mowers, and then that last 5, but there's 3 or 4 more I need to really get done, and I think it's about 11:30 or 12 o'clock. So I would rather have, if I can get lawns all in one area, I could do 20 and be done by 2 o'clock, easy, every day. But right here, our market's terrible. We got so many people mowing grass, and yeah, we got so many people mowing grass and stuff. It's even with my very economical pricing, it's hard to get enough customers. And I don't want just customers. I want customers that are within 5 miles of my house, 10 miles maybe at the most. No, 5 miles. I'd rather have just right around my house, because it takes a lot of time. In the time that I spend going between some of these yards, I could easily be, you know, doing an extra 2-3 yards. So I'm not too keen on wasting fuel and time. So, all right, see what else I get into today. I know I got to hook up the trailer, the big trailer on the big truck, because that guy that's closing out the gym, he's gonna sell me some plate weights and bar and power rack. The yard I mowed yesterday that I showed on the video. But I don't really want to haul that stuff in the rain because it'll flash rust and stuff. But I'll hook up and get ready to go in case he's got time and I got time, and we'll get that done. And then I may do some more shop stuff later on today. But when I was doing that, I know a lot of people will say, well, that's why you need a second guy, because he can be doing the blowing off and the edging and weeding. And what it comes out to is just luck. I mean, even with the second guy, what is he going to do? Turn back time? Is he going to make up for the, oh, I got to stop for cigarettes. Oh, I got to have a biscuit. I got to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry, man. The way I've got mine set up, there's no way a second guy can make it faster. No way. And he might, on a case by case, if you were to mark it down as like time on to starting the yard to time stopping, he might make up time, but he's going to eat it sooner or later. One picked up for work, one was wages calculated and all this and everything. There's absolutely no way in the world that I can. I'd rather buy a bigger machine. Like if I was mowing 30-acre properties, 12-acre properties, I'd go buy me a Batwing 102-inch hustler long before I'd consider putting a guy on it. I mean, my God, I can't stand it, because you're doing a 13-acre or 12-acre, whatever. You're going to be out in the middle of nowhere, and that joker's going to be like, he wouldn't have taken the time to make sure he took care of his bathroom issues or brought his lunch or anything. He's going to end up pulling you off of jobs. This is just me, I'm saying, for what I do. Now, everybody's got a different scenario. But I've tried it, and I got sued for some BS where, well, he didn't finish out, but he was going to sue, was my impression, because he had sued his last boss. And the joker got hurt somewhere else in a fight, and he said he was released by the doctor to go to work, and he come working for me, and you know, then he got hurt. So, or, you know, he didn't get hurt, he was already hurt. I mean, he was running a freaking shovel, and then all of a sudden you had to have surgery. Screw that. I don't need another sleepless night like that. And I don't need another joker that takes my weed eater out and runs it no string, wide open, doing absolutely nothing, grinding the head into the concrete, or doing the opposite, because I don't run guards, and stretching too much string out and running it bogged for an hour and a half and bringing it back to the truck so hot it's like a freaking nuclear bomb, or as hot as the sun. You can't even put it near the truck. You know, I don't know. I know there's good ones out there, but you're going to go through a few to get there. And from what I'm doing, even if I had a good one, it ain't going to make enough difference. I'll do it myself. Because to me, it would be, the only reason I'd have somebody would be to save me time. And they don't understand that. They think that when they come on, that it's going to be, oh, I'm going to divide the labor. I'm going to, you know, I don't care what's going on. I'm not going to be happy sitting in my truck if this guy's working for me and I have to stand down or jump in and do what he should do, because my only concern is time. I'll do the work, but I'm not going to sit there and stretch my day out into the heat of the day because he wants to slow boat the operation of weed eating and blowing. You know, I want to have control of how my day is going to go. And if I can cover 20 yards easily before 2 o'clock in the afternoon, if I have a rough day, so I have to work till 5 or 6. But I'm not going to be splitting my money with nobody, and I'm not going to have them screwing me up. And instead of me getting on my first yard at 6 a.m., they got to stop for the bathroom. They got to stop for cigarettes. They want to borrow money for cigarettes. I mean, my mentality is such that I went through that, and by the time I got to the first yard, I'd be so annoyed that I'd just soon take the end of that weed eater and just use it like a freaking club than to go out and even mow. So I enjoy mowing, but my people skills on that kind of stuff, just it ain't happening. So I'll take as many as I can get on my own. And then, of course, the next thing that happens is, to these guys, if they get a reputation for quality and stuff, they end up with too many. And then they get forced into having to take on people. And then pretty soon, they're doing an office job, which is what they never wanted to do in the beginning. They liked working outside. Well, some of them. But that's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to let my business grow me out of doing what I like to do, which is mow lawns. You know, yeah, people probably make more money, but man, I bet you they got a lot of sleepless nights wondering about an employee that just got hurt, or windows broken out, or hustling to find enough work for them. It's like you're working for the employee. Then they got paperwork on top of all that. So that's my rant. I'm going to stop with that because I know that I'm probably 1%er on all that perspective. But I don't know. I feel pretty strongly about it, obviously. That I would be having a hard time if I was depending on somebody else, because I haven't found anybody down here in the South, in Florida, yet that's dependable to, I mean, and this one guy, my God, even if he saved you and did a good day, then he's lost his phone, he's lost his bag, and you'll be done and trying to get cleaned up and relaxed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you'll still be dealing with his chaos until 7 or 8 o'clock at night, because he's all drugged up, can't find his stuff from 2 seconds ago. You find one thing and he loses something else, and it's just rides across town and all this other stuff. It's chaos. So, or you get the other end of the spectrum, the guy who wants a 401k and he's more professional, but you know, you got to go through all the hoops and the paperwork and the insurance and all this good stuff, which at that point you're spending more time on clerical stuff than you ever would have spent on mowing, and you could have kept the whole kitty if you mowed it yourself. So you're really not even, in my case, I wouldn't even be saving time, because I hate paperwork. I'll tell you that right now. I hate it with a passion. So they'd have to be a miracle worker for I would accept more paperwork in exchange for losing half of my pay, or, well, not half, but you know. All right, that's all I got to say about that. I'll give it up while I'm still making a little bit of sense. I'll talk to you later.